Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, and Robert Paris, Peter Brown with the weather, and Maddie Shipka with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. An uptick in the amount and severity of vandalism at two of Burlington's parks has prompted an organization that cares for the green spaces to seek help from the community. The Friends of Mary Cummings Park posted on Facebook that while there has been a regular vandalism in Whispering Hill Woods and Mary Cummings Park in the past, it has become much worse this year. This year it has hit a new level, the group said. Signposts were smashed out of the ground and thrown into the woods. It appears they used barbells to break the signs out of the ground and ATVs to move the signs they dislodged around the park. The Friends of Mary Cummings Park has been taking care of both parks for years, paying for kiosks, signs, and maps from their own pockets and from donations, the group said, and asked that anyone with information contact the Burlington Police Department. The Friends added that they were, the emergency line is 781-272-1212. The Friends added they are looking into placing hidden field and trail cameras and working with the police to catch those responsible. The post adds that the culprits have a fire pit where they appear to go and drink and then vandalize the signs in that area. This has led to empty beer and drink containers littering the parks and woods. Wouldn't it be great if we could nab them and have restitution? Burlington is one step closer to getting a Green Communities designation and grant program and being able to take advantage of state funds while making Burlington a more green-friendly community. The program is run by the state's Department of Energy Resources and offers incentives in the form of grant money for communities to seek more energy-efficient buildings, vehicles, and utilities. On Monday night, the Board of Selectmen voted to approve two new policies required by the program, a fuel-efficient vehicle policy and an anti-idling policy. The stated purpose of the fuel-efficient vehicle policy is to establish a requirement that the town of Burlington purchase only fuel-efficient vehicles for municipal and local public school use whenever such vehicles are commercially available and practicable. Town Administrator Paul Sagarino said the policy will apply mostly to department vehicles used for inspections and other non-emergency operations. Fire engines, police cruisers, and ambulances are exempt. The anti-idling policy has the objective to eliminate unnecessary idling of vehicles in order to reduce the community's exposure to exhaust from gasoline and diesel fuels. The benefits of becoming a designated green community was part of the discussion between Mr. Sagarino and BNEWS Director Rich Hosford in the latest Town Administrator update. Let's have a look.
Once you get into the program, there's an initial grant, and I believe our grant is $170,000 or so that we can use for energy efficiency type projects, and we have no shortage of heating systems, HVAC systems, electrical build-outs where we will be able to find many uses for this grant money. So aside from the initial fund, then we become eligible for additional amounts where we would have to compete against other communities in the program on an annual basis. But when we looked at it, some of the communities that have been in the program for 8 or 9 years, I mean, some of them have got close to $1.8 million over that time. So wow. They're small, they're good-sized grants, but they add up a lot over time. And again, we have unlimited amount of projects that we're going to need to do anyway on the town's dime. And to be able to have this assistance to sort of offset some of those costs, I think is going to be a great byproduct aside from us reducing our energy usage.
You can watch the full Town Administrator update on our website at bcattv.org/bnews. The long in the works project for a new fire station on Middlesex Turnpike side of town is now complete. The Burlington Fire Department held a ribbon cutting ceremony for the new fire station 2. BNEWS Director Rich Hosford was there and files this report.
After a lot of work, time, and effort, the old Burlington Fire Station 2 is gone and the new station is now complete. Firefighters, both current and retired, were joined by town officials and employees on Wednesday for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the newly completed station on Terrace Hall Avenue. Those involved in the planning and administration of the project are happy to see it done and ready for use.
It's a long time coming. I mean, just this project alone is just under 3 years, I believe. By the time, you know, a concept plan, I mean, obviously there's a need. Getting the concept plan, hiring a project manager, hiring an architect, doing a evidence design team, a building committee. That process took a year plus, and then construction was a year plus.
Now that it's complete, however, everyone involved seemed very happy with the results.
So I'm thrilled. I couldn't be more pleased with the way the project came out. A lot of effort went into this project, from the inception of the project to the completion of the project. So very exciting day for the Burlington Fire Department, real exciting day for the community.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful station. It's going to meet our needs for today, tomorrow, and well into the future. So I'm very pleased to be part of that process.
The new building not only looks great, but was built to provide necessary coverage in Burlington's growing commercial sector. The old Fire Station 2, built to house 3 firefighters and with only about 1.5 bays of space for vehicles, was no longer adequate to meet the needs of the Middlesex Turnpike side of town.
The original building was here in 1970-71 for the single-story Burlington Mall, Lloyd Barron Apartments, Hallmark Gardens. Here we go forward 50 years and look at this side of town, the commercial development on this side. You've got a second floor on the Burlington Mall. It's one of the busiest malls in the country. You've got the Northwest Park. You've got the district. I mean, it's just the expansion of this side of town, and we've seen it in our call volume. Our call volume increases every year anyway, but our call volume to this part of town, the commercial end of town, is increasing. It's almost going to flip. It's about a 50-50 split right now.
This building was built in order for us to reorganize based on the growth that's been going on in our community over the past several years and continued growth. So what this building does is allow us a lot of flexibility moving forward.
Finally, the opening of the new station will be a welcome relief for the firefighters stationed there, who had to first deal with the old building and then work out of a trailer on Meadow Road for the past 18 months.
Guys knew it was coming. I mean, there was light at the end of the tunnel, but, I mean, again, this has been a long process. These guys have been in this trailer for a year now, over a year now. So, you know, and they see it being built, and they see it nearing completion, and they're anxious to get in here and live out of this versus living out of a trailer.
Oh, yeah. For the last 18 months or so, guys have been operating out of the little, you know, trailer down there on Meadow Road. Not exactly ideal conditions. But they did it. They made the best of a bad situation. But this today makes that all worthwhile. So I'm sure that guys being told that they have to work at Station 2 from here on in will certainly most likely be happy to come on down and work out of here for a shift.
From the new Fire Station 2, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
The Burlington Board of Selectmen voted to raise the ambulance billing rates charged to those who require transport and their insurance companies during the meeting on Monday night. Chief Steve Yetman, Assistant Chief Mike Patterson, and Town Accountant John Denizio outlined a number of reasons for the request to up the rates, from the current level of Medicare rate plus 150% to the Medicare rate plus 300%. The first is that the rates have not been raised since 2013, and it is normal for a municipality to adjust rates regularly. Also, in a comparison of 14 other communities, Burlington was near the bottom. Secondly, the Burlington Fire Department is in the process of transitioning from offering basic life support to offering advanced life support by hiring more paramedics and offering paramedics training to current members who are certified EMTs. The group also said that the department is now getting more calls for service, especially ambulance services, than it ever has, and that has increased the cost to the department and therefore the town. Changes in equipment, technology, medications, and training requirements have impacted operating costs. The board voted 4-0-1 in favor of the rate hike, with Selectman Michael Runyon abstaining because he is an employee of the department. 2018 Olympic gold medalist and Burlington native Callie Flanagan had her first hockey camp at Cyclones Arena in Hudson, New Hampshire. BNews reporter Robert Paris went to check it out and has this look.
In February 2018, Burlington native Callie Flanagan won her first Olympic gold medal during the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Flanagan decided to bring her hockey skills back on the ice for the next generation of girls with her very own summer hockey camp at Cyclones Arena in Hudson, New Hampshire.
So I just decided that I wanted to give back to the next generation of girls that are coming up and playing hockey. And so we have the rink here, and I kind of just thought, why not, and just got it going.
And I kind of just follow in her footsteps. So she put her mind to it, and I'm just here to help out as much as I can.
Callie and the other coordinators have been teaching the girls many routines, techniques, and dynamics.
We've been working in the mornings on a lot of edges, backward skating, forward skating, things like that, inside, outside edges. And then we started playing some small area games this morning, and then in the afternoons we just play games and try to get the girls having fun, laughing, and just loving playing hockey.
We've also had a couple Skype sessions, one with Katie King Crowley, the head coach of BC Women's Hockey, and then Jocelyn Larmoyu, who won the Olympic gold medal last year. And you know what, it was very helpful for the girls because they're working on being coachable. I think that's like the main thing no one talks about. So they come out here and have a good attitude and want to get better, and that's the big thing they like to do.
I had a chance to speak with one of the participants from the hockey camp.
I don't need to worry about being strict. Everyone's just there to have a good time, especially with only 10 girls. Everybody knows everybody, and yeah, we really get along.
In closing, the camp gave the girls an opportunity to learn a variety of new athletic abilities and a chance to meet with an Olympian.
They should always be having fun while they're playing. I hope that they take that with them. And then, of course, all the skill stuff that we've been working on. We talked to them today about nutrition and hydration. And we kind of took them through like a dry land, like body workout exercises. And he also did some off-ice stick handling and shooting with them as well. So I think that there's been a lot of stuff going through their minds. And then hopefully when they get to decompress, they realize they learned a lot of stuff this week.
It's all about learning and trying to get better, and the takeaway from this camp is that they had fun this week, and they got to brush up on some of their skills that they might not have been great at the beginning, and they're getting to be better at. That's the main goal.
From Cyclones Arena, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Weekly.
A joint meeting of the Planning Board and then Zoning Bylaw and Land Use Committees took place recently to hear an initial overview of a proposed zoning change by Nordblom Company for Northwest Park. Nordblom's Senior Vice President of Development and Director of Mixed-Use Projects, Todd Fremont Smith, presented the proposal for up to another 300 more housing units at Northwest Park. He said that the park still has room to grow. The plan is for contemporary condo quality, multifamily rental units with outdoor spaces and roof decks. Fremont Smith said he doesn't think they're overbuilding the site, noting they've only used a fraction of the space for housing. There was some discussion on how an additional 300 units would impact parking, with members of the Planning Board disagreeing on the issue. Others in attendance noted the need for senior housing in town, which is an issue being addressed as part of the Burlington Master Plan. Planning Board member Jack Kelly brought up the need for housing among the employees of the restaurants who work long hours, often into the night. Attorney Bob Buckley said the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce and Middlesex 3 Coalition have been working successfully on shuttle services for local employees, including Northwest Park. The three committees all will have the opportunity for more detailed inquiries at their own future meetings as this plan progresses. Construction on the more than 250 residences at Corporate Drive has recently begun. The complex is expected to be ready for the fall and will feature a 40B affordable housing component. This is just the latest addition to many options of affordable housing located within Burlington. For an overview of the town's affordable housing, BNews reporter Chris Flaherty spoke with Mike Runyon of the Burlington Board of Selectmen.
As Burlington continues to grow, the opportunities for affordable housing within town are also increasing. Construction on the residence at Corporate Drive has recently begun, which will offer affordable housing units and is expected to be ready for fall of this year. Per Chapter 40B of the Massachusetts Comprehensive Permit Act, 10% of housing offered within municipalities must be considered affordable for moderate income households.
Burlington's in good shape. We're slightly over our 10%. We are a little bit concerned about the 2020 census, and so the Board of Selectmen and the Planning Board together decided that, let's stay ahead of the curve and seek out an applicant who's willing to build a friendly 40B here in Burlington. And we're able to do that, and it's all permitted and underway and should be ready for the fall. Should keep us well ahead of the curve for the foreseeable future.
The residents at Corporate Drive will be an addition to the many affordable housing offerings already established within Burlington.
We've got a number of opportunities for people in town here. We've got two recently opened, the Huntington and the Tremont down there on 3rd Ave. Plus we've got 108 units over at with the Housing Authority. We've got 36 units at Grandview, Kimball Towers. All of these developments have a affordable component to them. So we're in good shape there. You can visit these apartment buildings. There's a management office on site. Some of the applications are available through the Selectman's office and the town library as well.
Compared to other areas in the state, Burlington has consistently managed to maintain the 10% requirement of 40B housing.
We've been at our 10% for a number of years. Our neighbors, you read it in the paper all the time, Winchester, Lexington, Bedford, all struggling to meet that 10%. The applicants constantly fighting off applicants who want to do projects in their community. Here, because we're at that threshold, we can dissuade development in certain areas of town where we think is overdeveloped or too dense or something like that. So we've got a lot more flexibility than almost all of our neighbors.
Having an affordable housing component in town provides equal opportunities to all members of the community.
Well, you know what, there was some data recently I spotted on television. Massachusetts, 3rd highest state in the country for affordability, whether you're purchasing or renting. We've got a very robust commercial sector here in Burlington, and they rely on being able to have housing available for the employees that work at those places. So it's very important for Burlington to maintain an affordability level here in Burlington if we want to maintain our king of the hill status in terms of commercial. Burlington's a very diverse community. We have all types of folks living and working here in Burlington. So, having opportunities for everybody is, I think, healthy for the community.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Well, in Bedford, Lexington, Winchester, and other communities' defense, the reason why they're struggling to meet that need is because the residents don't want the enormous density that's cropping up all over towns like Burlington and all up and down Route 128 if you take a close look of what's been built up there. There could soon be a new locally owned place to grab a bagel. No, that's not my story. My story is Lahey Health held their 14th annual 5K cancer walk and run at Burlington High School. The event was a way to commemorate loved ones and family friends in their fight against cancer. Let's take a look at some of the event highlights.
It was a beautiful day for the Lahey Health Cancer Institute 5K Walk and Run. The 14th annual event raised more than $500,000 for cancer care at Lahey Hospital and Medical Center, as well as hospitals in Peabody, Winchester, Beverly, and Gloucester. Cancer survivors were honored at the walk, including Lori Poskovitz from Ipswich, who got her treatment at Lahey.
I'm officially a cancer survivor. Today I'm a survivor, and I know that no matter how hard something may be, I can get through anything that a day may throw at me because I've done really hard things.
The money raised for the 5K Cancer Walk and Run pays for survivorship services, expanded genetic counseling, inoperative radiation, and other Cancer Institute programs. More than 1,500 runners and walkers turned out to support the event at Burlington High School. Congratulations to Lahey Health for another successful year at the 5K Cancer Walk and Run.
Okay, I am on the right story this time. There could soon be a new locally owned place to grab a bagel, breakfast sandwich, or a cup of coffee in Burlington. The Planning Board approved a special permit application for the Bagel Bar at 286 Cambridge Street. The breakfast restaurant will be located in the same plaza as Old Town Liquors and will be owned and operated by the same owners, the Talopoulos family, who say there is a need for this type of establishment in that part of town. The concept of serving freshly baked bagels and locally roasted coffee, Michael Tulopoulos, wrote in a letter included with the application. He said they have already contracted with a local, well-known, established and well-known baker for the bagels. The restaurant plans to be open from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and will have 12 seats for indoor dining, though the theory is most customers will take their orders to go. The menu has a variety of bagels ranging from staples like plain, everything onion, and cinnamon raisin to more unique offerings including sea salt, sun-dried tomato, and 3-cheese Italian. There are also a variety of breakfast sandwiches and bagel toasts that will be available. The Burlington Public Library, if you have noticed, is covered in knitting and crochet done by a Good Yarn Knitting and Crocheting meetup group, which meets every Wednesday at the Burlington Public Library. BNews reporter Tad Stefanak went to meet with the group and has this report.
The Burlington Public Library has been yarn bombed. Knit and crochet adorns almost every nook and cranny at the library. The initiators of this cozy embellishment is a Good Yarn Knit and Crochet meetup group, who happen to do their meeting up at the Burlington Library.
Yarn bombing is an international thing, so you see if you Google it, there's all sorts of things around the world. There's even a whole house that's decorated in pink yarn, so it can be all the way from large scale to some of the smaller scale things you'll see around here. Our biggest piece here, you may have noticed it outside, or if you come to the library, you'll see it. It's a bicycle that's been completely covered with yarn. We have knitters from all nearby towns, and not just Burlington, different abilities, range of ages from we've had teenagers and all the way up to people in their 70s. So it's a nice group, diverse group, people of different levels of experience. Everybody's welcome, so if anybody's interested.
With a variety of members from different towns, I asked why Yarn Bomb in Burlington.
Would it be a good idea to do it somewhere in Burlington? And I think library seemed a natural place because we meet here every week.
Inside we have more individual pieces, so some of them are collaborations. You'll see squares that were knitted together and others more individual pieces. Like there's a rainbow, there's some mandalas in the windows, there's a piece with flowers and butterflies. Anything goes, but the idea is to be colorful and really have fun.
So be sure to visit the BPL and see what yarns are being spun. From the Burlington Public Library, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
Should really get up there and take a look. It's fantastic, the work that they're able to do. The Marshall Simons Middle School Student Council, along with their faculty advisors and PTO, held a fundraiser for the school featuring a game of chance based on bovine solid waste. Members of BCAT's Middle School Club Video Voyagers were on hand at the event.
Before the end of the school year, Marshall Simons Middle School held their first ever Cow Pie Fest fundraiser. For those not familiar, a Cow Pie Fest is when a numbered grid is laid out on the grass. People pay $20 for a square, and whoever's square the cow poops on gets half of the money made from the cow pie event. While waiting for that to happen, Stephen Noonan and Jack and Nate Carey
Hi, my name is Nate, and we're still
of BCAT's Video Voyager program covered the event. The Cow Pie Fest was organized by Marshall Simons Middle School Student Council and faculty advisors, and the Marshall Simons PTO, and Assistant Principal Mr. Murphy dressed up like a cow. And the students recruited sponsorship from local businesses.
I know. Go.
The day featured games, bouncy houses, a cookout, and of course the dunk tank was a big attraction. The Marshall Simons Middle School Cow Pie Fest fundraiser was a success, and pooping cows may become a tradition at Marshall Simons Middle School. This is BNews.
We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Manny Shipka to see what's happening in Burlington.
Well, hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with Look at Your Weather for the next 7 days, and here we are. We are finally in our first full period of summer, and we are going to finally be seeing some real summer-like temperatures coming up. So for those of you who have been waiting anxiously, guess what? Your time and my time as well has come for the summer weather to finally be here. Now, starting our period on Thursday, look at this. We are expecting highs. Wow. We're thinking up in the upper 80s out here in the Burlington area. It might be a little bit cooler if you're heading in towards the city, but look at that. Finally going to really have that feel of summer. And look at this at nighttime, too. If you're going out, no need to really bring anything more than a very light jacket. We're going to see temperatures right where they should be at this time of the year at night, right around 60. And look at this for the chance, well above our average highs. And by the time we get into Friday, looks like we're going to be looking at some really warm temperatures coming up. Still, we're not going to be getting anywhere near any record highs coming up, and definitely nowhere near the record lows, which we've actually not been too far away from these past few weeks here. And as we get into the end of our period, look at this. This brings us almost out to the 4th of July. I know it's hard to believe that we're already looking that far ahead, but our average highs at that time of the year should be in the low 80s, and that's pretty much where we're going to be seeing our temps. And of course, the days are at their absolute longest right now, and they're going to get ever so shorter as we head on in towards July, but still plenty of daylight out there to enjoy the beautiful weather. Now, as we go ahead, we're going to take a look at what we're expecting for temperatures and precip over the next 6 to 10 days or so. And this is actually something, look at this. Can you believe it? They're actually predicting from the Climate Prediction Center for us here in the Burlington area and most of southern New England and into the mid-Atlantic. Looks like it's going to actually be chances of below average precipitation. So that's going to give us a chance to really dry out those gardens, get that nice warm sun, and hopefully all those nice plants that you have there will start blooming now that we're going to get some drier weather for a change. As we go ahead, let's look at what we're expecting for a chance for temperatures coming up in the next 6 to 10 day period. Now, looking at this map, doesn't look like there's really too much in the way of above average temperatures coming our way. In fact, here in the Burlington area, most of southern New England, there's really just, it's saying, a slight chance of having above average temperatures. So it really, if you're going to go anywhere that's really going to be warm, of course, you're going to head down to Florida or actually out to the upper Midwest. Looks like there's a chance of having really much above average temperatures there. And look at this. Cooler weather for a change is going to be invading the West. So that's a little bit different than what we've been seeing the past few months. As we go ahead, let's take a look, though, at some of those temperatures and precip coming up for the next 6 to 10 days. Now, again here, starting our period Thursday and Friday, we are looking at temperatures to be hovering around between 85 and 90 in the Burlington area. Again, if you're heading in town or heading towards the beaches at all, probably want to nick maybe 10 or 15 degrees off of that as we're going to see a sea breeze developing those 2 days, but probably not here in Burlington. It's going to stay nice and summery here. Now, as we get into Saturday and Sunday, when we put the forecast together a couple of days ago, it looked like Sunday we were going to eke out some pretty nice conditions. It looks like we're going to have to extend the showery weather into Sunday as well, and we may actually see some fairly heavy showers and thunderstorms getting into the latter portion of Saturday into Sunday, maybe even some severe weather. Probably is a chance of some probably spotty heavy rain. Temperature is pretty warm and very muggy as we head into the weekend. Now, starting our period on Monday, going back to work, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a cool down temperatures back into the 70s with that chance of unsettled weather again. And then rounding out our period Tuesday and Wednesday, looks like we're going to see temperatures again where they should be at this time of the year in the low to mid 80s and pretty fair skies on Tuesday and maybe a chance of maybe some showers and some small thunderstorms on Wednesday as we head in towards the July 4th period. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the summer weather, and have a great week.
I'm Maddie Shipka, and this is your community calendar. Do you have what it takes to lip sync? On Monday, July 1st, from 7 to 8 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having an event called Teen Lip Sync Battle. The event is for students entering 6th through 12th grade. For more information about the event, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Come and celebrate America's birthday. On Thursday, July 4th, the Burlington 4th of July Committee will be having the annual 4th of July Parade. The parade will start at 11 a.m. at the Presbyterian Church and will end at the Memorial Elementary School. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit burlingtonjuly4th.com. Enjoy a day on a small island just south of Cape Cod. On Saturday, July 6th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a day trip to Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. The cost of the trip is $142 per person, and for more information and to register, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
The Burlington Parks and Recreation Department is ready for another summer of fun activities, sports, and special events. We now bring you a revamp of the Parks and Recreation Review with Brendan Egan.
Hi, I'm Brendan Egan, Director of Parks and Recreation here in Burlington. I'm coming to you from the Parks and Recreation Department lobby, where right behind these walls in our function room is our 2019 program staff. They are going through their third day of orientation, getting ready for the start of all of our summer programs. We're gonna get an inside view of what it's like to prepare for onslaught of participants into our summer programs. We'll take a look at our preschool program in the setup process there. We'll take a look at one of our parks in the setup process that goes on there, and then we'll conclude with a look at Simon's Park in the setup for Club Simons, and you'll meet our program directors at each of those spots, and they can fill you in on a little bit of the process and what the program's going to look like this summer.
So this is orientation for the summer program. We're very excited to start our summer as usual. We've learned so much. We've had a little bit about safety for our participants. Our inclusion staff just did a great presentation on what they mean and how they work in our community, which was fantastic. We've learned so much in the last 3 days. It's been very great.
Today we're getting ready for our Regan Park Park Place program, and basically what we're doing is we're setting up our program, we're going over the daily schedule and making sure we have all the supplies we need for the kids to have a great summer. We do a ton of different activities. We do crafts, sports, free play. On Fridays we have a designated water day, so we do water slides, we put soap on it so the kids go super fast, and we do water balloons sometimes and kickball.
I just think it's a great place to work. I think it's good to be around kids, and learning how to manage a large group of kids can be really good, and I think it's overall just very beneficial for all of us.
I joined the summer program because I want to make sure the kids have a great summer, and the summer to look back at, and a summer they can always think about.
We start with I think almost a full roster, so we're very excited, and we're just kind of getting our new staff acquainted with the building and setting everything up so we can have a great first week.
We have a lot to set up here, our bins to be cleaned, stuff to be organized, popsicles to freeze, so we're very excited for them to start.
So thank you for tuning in to the first edition of the new Rec Review, and for those of you looking for Paul Ganley, the sidekick, he'll be on. We'll just save that for the middle of the summer. Thank you again, and please come out and enjoy our concerts and movies on the Common. Anything that the Parks and Recreation Department has to offer, we want you to come out and enjoy and take advantage of what the town of Burlington offers you.
We're very glad to have Brendan back on a regular basis. Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo shows one of our own ready to work like the olden days. It is from the Burlington Public Library and features BCAT production coordinator Tad Stefanak with an antique rake that is an artifact from the Burlington Museum. It is good to know that if all this technology, if we have in the studio goes kaput, that Tad has a old school backup plan. Also, the Burlington Museum is open on the second Saturday of the month between Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends, as well as on Veterans Day and the day of Celebrate Burlington. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of your family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share with us and the community. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And finally, this week, come celebrate America's independence with the Burlington 4th of July Committee's annual parade and fireworks show. This year, the two events will be held on different days. The fireworks will be held this Sunday, June 30th. Get that, this Sunday, June 30th. There'll be a concert on the Common starting at 6 p.m. to kick off the 4th of July week with the rock band 4 on the floor. The fireworks will start at 9 p.m. and will be set off from the field next to Burlington High School. The parade will be on July 4th and will start at 11 a.m. and run down Cambridge Street onto Wynn Street and end at Memorial Elementary School. Cambridge Street will be closed to traffic from Wilmington Road to Skilton Lane from 9 a.m. to about noon, so plan accordingly. This year's Citizen of the Year will be Help Us founder Joyce Delianis. Help Us is a nonprofit organization with the goals of promoting charitable deeds and directly helping those in need. BCAT will be taping the parade with commentary from me and special guest host Dottie Yaden, who can reflect on her many years involved in Burlington sports with almost every team that ever performed here. So make sure you wave and say hello if you see us out there. Okay, that's it. Where am I? Okay, that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with Rich Hosford, Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Peter Brown with the weather, and Maddie Shipka with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us.